Welcome to the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group. It is great to have you with us. Here at the Academy, our whole focus is on route to shopper optimization. We help organizations across consumer goods, services, and retail really nail that connection between insight, influence, and execution. And today, we're diving deep into a sector that's going through some massive changes: automotive. We're going to unpack the route to shopper methodology and show you how it provides a brand new roadmap for this fast-changing world.
So let's just jump right in with a number that honestly should get everyone's attention: 61%. So what is that? Well, that's how much of the car buying journey is now happening online, in digital channels, before a shopper even considers setting foot in a dealership. Just let that sink in for a second. The game has fundamentally changed. The old playbook? It's pretty much obsolete.
And we desperately need this new roadmap because the entire automotive landscape is being disrupted. It's not just one thing, it's everything, all at once. You've got the huge shift to electric vehicles, you have iconic brands trying out direct-to-consumer models, and you've got a whole new generation of buyers who expect a seamless, personalized experience. The kind they get from Apple, but for a car. The old way of doing things just isn't going to cut it anymore.
So, the big question is, how do you navigate all this complexity? How do you find your way? Well, the answer is a really powerful framework called Route to Shopper. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a sophisticated GPS for your entire commercial strategy. It gives both the manufacturer and the dealer a shared set of directions to get to the same destination. Now, the absolute core of this methodology is this idea right here: integrated shopper-based value creation. It sounds a bit academic, I know, but the idea is actually super simple. It just means that the brand and the dealership can't live in separate universes anymore. They have to be perfectly in sync, creating one single seamless journey for the customer. And the engine that makes all this happen is what we call the Guide and Paths framework.
Right, so think of it this way: two worlds, one journey. Guide, that's the manufacturer's grand plan. It's the blueprint. It defines what the brand is all about and what that ideal customer experience should be. Then you have Paths. That's the dealer side of things. It's the execution, how they actually take that blueprint and bring it to life in the showroom, interaction by interaction. They're two different jobs for sure, but they are completely interconnected.
And this is where it gets really practical. The manufacturer, using Guide, is focused on the big questions: the what and the why. What are we promising? Why should someone choose our new EV over the 10 other options out there? The dealer, on the other hand, using Paths, is all about the how and the when. How do we make the test drive an amazing experience? When do we talk about home charging options? One side builds the strategy, the other brings it to life.
So if we double-click on the manufacturer's world, the Guide framework gives them 5 key levers to pull. And this goes way beyond just sell more cars. It forces them to ask the right questions. How do we find and attract new kinds of buyers? How do we increase the value of each sale? How do we build real loyalty that leads to repeat business? How do we make sure this is all profitable in the long run? And, so important, how do we get everyone inside our own company aligned and working together? Now, let's flip over to the dealer's side. The Paths framework gives them the tools to execute that strategy flawlessly. It covers the essentials, like making sure the showroom looks incredible and that they have the right mix of cars on the lot. But it also goes deeper, into things like getting the sales team truly engaged and excited, working better with all their suppliers, and using actual data to understand what their local shoppers really want.
Okay, so that's the theory behind Guide and Paths. It's a really solid concept, but let's be real, concepts don't move metal off a lot. So now let's bring this to life for the automotive sector.
And there's that 61% again. Looking at it this way, you can really see how front-loaded the whole process is now. All that research, all that comparing, all that narrowing down of choices, it's happening online. This changes everything for the dealership. That visit, it might be a smaller piece of the pie time-wise, but its importance has skyrocketed. It's become the ultimate moment of truth, where the digital promise has to match the physical reality.
All right, so how do these two frameworks, Guide and Paths, actually connect to solve real problems and make a real difference? Let's get out of the theoretical and into the practical. I want to walk you through a couple of real-world examples that show exactly how this works.
Okay, example number 1, launching a new electric vehicle. This is the challenge every single automaker is facing right now. And the goal is huge. It's not just about selling some cars, it's about speeding up the whole market switch to EVs, getting the maximum value from every sale, and making sure these new customers become fans for life.
So from the manufacturer's side, this is Guide thinking at its best.
They're building the entire value story. They're using data to run digital campaigns that target people who are specifically EV curious. They're creating smart bundles, like packaging a home charging station with the car to remove a huge pain point. And they're thinking ahead with incentives around battery health. They are creating the demand and defining the perfect offer.
And this is where the magic happens. The dealer uses the PAS framework to make that strategy come alive. They don't just stick the new EV in a corner. No, they build an entire immersive EV experience zone. They use data to make sure they have the right demo vehicles available. And maybe the most important part, they get their sales team certified as EV specialists so they can handle any question with confidence. The strategy is no longer just an idea. It's a real trust-building experience.
All right, for our second example, let's talk about used cars, specifically the certified pre-owned or CPO business. The challenge here is to take what is often just a transactional sale and turn it into a premium brand-building experience. The goal? To build so much trust and loyalty that today's CPO buyer becomes tomorrow's new car buyer.
So it starts with the manufacturer applying their guide strategy. They use data to create personalized and fair trade-in offers. They carefully design the CPO warranty packages to give customers real peace of mind. And they set incredibly high standards for how those cars are reconditioned. Essentially, they are defining what certified pre-owned actually means for their brand.
And then the dealership, using PAS, executes that vision perfectly. They create a totally transparent, digital-first shopping experience, showing the full vehicle history. They use local market data to buy the right CPO inventory that people in their area actually want. And they train their team to move away from haggling over price and instead have a consultative conversation about the value and confidence that comes with buying a CPO vehicle.
So you can see how this works. And when you get this connection right, when the manufacturer's strategy and the dealer's execution are in perfect harmony, the results can be absolutely incredible. Together, guide and paths connect strategy to shelf, or the point of purchase and intent to impact.
What kind of impact are we talking about? Well, how about a potential 30% jump in the conversion rate from test drive to sale? Why? Because the customer who walks in the door is already sold on the vision. The dealership experience is simply the seamless final step in a journey that started online. There are no surprises, just confirmation.
And here's another one, a potential 40-point improvement in a dealership's Net Promoter Score. Now, this is about more than just customer satisfaction. When the journey is this smooth and this supportive, customers don't just become happy. They become advocates. They become fans who rave about both the dealership and the brand.
And of course, it all hits the bottom line. This kind of deep alignment can lead to a 15% increase in profitability per vehicle. And that's not from high-pressure sales tactics. It's from building so much trust that customers are more open to high-value additions like finance and service plans. Now, I do have to add a quick disclaimer. These numbers are for illustrative and training purposes. Actual results will, of course, vary.
So, we've covered the challenge, we've walked through the framework, and we've seen the kind of results it can drive. What this really comes down to is a shift in thinking. A move away from the manufacturer and the dealer operating in their own separate worlds, and toward one integrated system that is built completely around the shopper. So I want to leave you with a question to think about. How could GuidePath's thinking change the way your organization plans, collaborates, and delivers value to shoppers? Seriously, think about it. Where are the disconnects right now between your strategy and what actually happens in the showroom? How could you start bridging those gaps to create a truly seamless journey?
The future of this industry belongs to those who can connect the digital promise to the physical experience. The Route to Shopper framework is the map that shows the way. Thanks for your engagement. For more details on individual modules and for custom creation, do get in touch. Best wishes and goodbye from all of us at the Commercial Excellence Academy by Asbiverse Group.